I'm going to start with a really deep question. Do you believe that there is life out there?
I definitely believe that there is life out there, and I think it's quite ignorant and quite self-centered of us to think that there wouldn't be, if you know how big space is. And if you look at us finding water on the moon, I think there could be parasites, and for me that is life form.
And do you ever, like me, just sort of sit down to have a little think for 5 minutes and then realise 4 hours have gone past and you're just thinking about space?
All the time.
It's quite intimidating, isn't it, space?
It is. I thought I didn't know you were going to say space. I just sit down and think,
and then
all of a sudden 5 hours have gone.
Yeah.
More and more after doing this film, I think I've looked up into the stars and just loved the emptiness and the void and the not knowing, which I kind of find intriguing and scary and absolutely mesmerizingly beautiful. And I think after doing this film and the way that we somehow, as humans, have created what then becomes our own fear and our own threat, I find that from a philosophical aspect very interesting and something that I keep on talking to Daniel about and really to myself.
Because I was just thinking before, you know, like the sun's not blue. No, the sky's not blue. It's a reflection of the sea. I was just thinking about that before, and that got me thinking.
I love it. And how about all the dimensions and actually how we could be mirroring our own dimension and the mathematical equations of it. It's
crazy.
It is crazy.
Yeah. And I asked, everyone I seem to have met about to do with this movie Life, I've asked if they would go to space, and they've all just said no. And I feel that they've been put off as a result of making this movie. Would you go? You know, Richard Branson's doing that thing into space. Is that something that would interest
space
you?
Tourism?
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
I wish I had a more fun answer, but no, definitely not.
Why not?
Because it's contained space. I'm inside a metal box. If I like jumping on the ground and knowing that I come back again. But I think what fears me the most, the idea, and probably from doing Life as well, and watching all the videos I have of astronauts and what happens, and I think it's the separation of gradually leaving sort of that cocooned shelter of safety net that is Earth. It's such a grand scale looking back. What would happen to me? Would I become grandiose? Would I look back and think, God, I'm God, basically, looking down? Or would I feel tiny and insignificant? And what happens to my mindset when I come back again? And what if I don't come back again? And
There's a lot of questions.
Well, I think about it.
But if you were an astronaut, what would you miss most about Earth if you were away for a year or so?
I think I'd probably miss noise. I'd miss movement. I'd miss sound. I like isolation. I like the idea of being by myself. I like this room. It's dark, it's cozy, it's contained. But I also know that I can walk outside the door and there's movement and there are cars and there are noise and there are people fighting or laughing and I can then close the door and be shut out from it again. I like having the possibility to choose my own environment.
And I was looking into what other projects you've got lined up to ask you, and there's so many, it was quite hard to choose. So I just sort of picked a name out of the hat, and I'm going to go for the Snowman. That looks really exciting. But
have you read Joe Nesbo?
I haven't, no, but I want to.
Incredible writer.
Yeah. No,
you should.
Because he was Headhunters was his, wasn't it, as well?
Headhunters is brilliant with Axel Hennie.
Yeah.
I saw that the other day on a plane. It is so good.
Because you're doing really well, like working with Swedish directors in Hollywood. I think I know your game.
You do?
I think I'm onto you.
What is it? Centralising is all. I think what is lovely as well is now the film world is so expanded. And when we say that we work with Swedish directors in Hollywood, at the same time, what that means is there's a co-collaboration. There's a Norwegian production combined with American production, but it actually is all shot in Norway by a Swedish director and a Swedish actress. But it's so multicultural, kind of what I believe the world should look like.
Brilliant. Well, thanks so much for your time today.
Thank you. And I'm so sorry.
I know, I'm so sorry.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey, you guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yes.
Nice.